I'll take him ahead of all those guys. I'm all about that life. 2,200 total yards, 25 damn touchdowns, Matt. Like, this guy can score.
Look at the release.
There's your separation.
Great route.
Stutter and go. Gets by clean.
That is unbelievable.
Maybe the greatest catch I've ever seen.
Matt, let's start off. Talk about Cam Akers. Again, Achilles injury. Look, ACLs used to be like that career-ending thing, and now we've moved well beyond that. It's like 9 months later, the guy's back to normal, and it's all good.
Yeah.
But Achilles, it's one of those things, man. It's just, I don't know. Like, no matter how good the athlete is, maybe Kevin Durant is like the only athlete that I can really think of that has come back from an Achilles injury looking just as nice as when he had it, or before the injury. So obviously Cam Akers is a very young man, but it definitely stinks to see.
Yeah, a running back too, like that position especially has a very dicey history with this particular injury. Like, I don't know that we have. I'm sure maybe somebody could find someone, but I'm pretty sure when you look back at like the catalog of running backs who have popped their Achilles, there's like nobody that's come back to peak form. And which sucks for Cam Akers because we actually don't really know what his peak form should be. I mean, awesome stretch to end last year, right? Like, he was getting a higher percentage of the backfield workload than even like Todd Gurley was in his prime. It really stinks for a guy that I was really ready to be like aggressive with Cam Akers and push him into like the top. Yeah, I think I had him at running back 7, and of course, like, let's show some respect to 2020's most accurate ranker, Matt Harmon, right here, certified, baby, certified, baby. It's so stupid. What a ridiculous twist in the whole rankings saga, which James knows goes back for years. I was going to put Cam Akers at like running back 6. I was going to be very, very high on Cam Akers. But obviously, this really does change the course of things. But I think the logic here remains the same with being excited about Darrell Henderson, who, to go back to rankings again, I immediately put him at like running back 20, running back 19. I think that's the proper place to put him. He immediately jumps the guys. James, I don't know how many drafts you've done so far, but whether it's mock drafts, I know you do a best ball weekly live stream with 4 for 4. So I'm sure you've felt this exact same thing. You get to like late round 4. If you haven't locked up 2 running backs, you're like, oh, damn. Now I'm looking at Mike Davis, Myles Gaskin, Kareem Hunt, Josh Jacobs. I don't want to take any of those guys. I think Henderson immediately vaults over those guys for a couple different reasons, which is, one, the ecosystem for the Rams backfield is still very good. This was a top 5 rushing success rate team last year. We all universally expect the offense to get some kind of boost through the passing game with Matthew Stafford. We expect him to open up the field, whereas Jared Goff had really constricted the field there. So all of that positivity just about the situation and what Stafford was going to bring to the table, applying to Akers, still applies to Henderson. And I saw you tweet about this, James. I know you have good numbers to back this up. Let's not act like Darrell Henderson is some, goofball running back like he's Mike Davis last year. It was like, well, yeah, Christian McCaffrey's going down, but like at least Mike Davis is going to get all this volume, but who is Mike Davis? Like, never really done anything. Henderson was pretty good last year when he got opportunities. Like, Akers usurped him because he's probably the superior player, but Henderson is not just some clown, no name. He's a guy that has played well for the Rams.
But Henderson, I mean, you look at the efficiency, right? Like Darrell Henderson, 4.5 yards per carry. Cam Akers last year, 4.4 yards per carry. But really what set them apart was what they were doing in between the tackles. Darrell Henderson, a very respectable, above league average, 4.2 yards per carry on inside the tackles runs. Meanwhile, Cam Akers, primarily a stretch guy, because once he was asked to kind of run in between the tackles, not very good, well below league average, 2.7 yards per carry. So I was just saying the way, and again, Malcolm Brown, he's out of here, guys. People were drafting Darrell Henderson like Malcolm Brown was still there, right? Like that's what was confusing me, was that he was going in like the 11th, 12th round. Shouldn't be the case. Their ADPs need to be a lot closer. For me, it's like, why can't we put him there? I would immediately put him as a top 15 selection. For all the reasons we like Cam Akers, you just said it yourself. All the reasons we like Cam Akers, we love the exact same things about Darrell Henderson. And now
Yeah.
there's even less competition for touches for Darrell Henderson. So for me, I'm extremely bullish on Darrell Henderson. And I think you're going to be getting some pretty decent value in terms of ADP, because this late in the game, Matt Harmon, ADPs aren't going to catch up.
Stop me if any of these players are. I think these guys are for sure over Henderson, like no conversation, but you tell me differently. Inhale. Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, Zeke Elliott, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb, Antonio Gibson, Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, Joe Mixon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Najee Harris. That's my top 14 guys right now. All those guys over Henderson.
No, not
now.
I don't have Clyde Edwards-Helaire that high. And the more we're hearing about Saquon too, the more dicey I'm feeling about that situation.
Yeah.
We all love the Saquon Barkley talent level. That's obvious, right? Like, that's not even a question. Like, he's incredibly talented, stupid athletic, but he is being so coy about whether or not he's actually going to suit up week 1.
Anyways, yeah. So other than CEH, those guys, you're all for those players. Would you take David Montgomery, Chris Carson, J.K. Dobbins, Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift, Darrell Henderson? That's okay. So I honestly think you can make I don't like Miles Sanders or DeAndre Swift really in this range.
Right.
So I might bump Henderson up ahead of those guys, but like, I think he's in the range basically of David Montgomery, Chris Carson, and J.K. Dobbins is kind of where and that's like running back 15, 16, 17.
I'll take him ahead of all those guys. 2,200 total yards, 25 damn touchdowns, Matt. Like, this guy can score. I'm all about that life, dude. And again, we talk about the Rams scoring a lot of points. I'm with you. And I think everyone, who follows football knows that, is expecting the Rams to pump in a lot of touchdowns. Give me that guy, man. Give me that guy. I'll take him ahead of all those dudes that you just listed off right there.
And also, he was PFF's like number 1 ranked running back when he was starting. He was also number 1 in next gen stats, yards over expectation or per rush or whatever. Like, so he was ball. That's the point is he was balling out when he was in there. He can ball out when he gets in there this time. I think it's pretty much just I think if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, the real takeaway here is James is a little more bullish than I am, but both of us here are saying it's green light for Darrell Henderson. Right now, he's going to be in that like 4th, 5th round range. By August drafts, he could at least get into, I think, the 3rd round. Realistically, if all camp reports are good and people get excited and they don't sign any other running backs.